How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. Today I want to talk to you about some of the most bullish news to date. And I think this is something that a lot of people probably haven't considered yet. I'll probably get flack in it for the comments too, people saying that I'm clickbaiting, but I really think this is true. And it's not Tesla buying Bitcoin. It's not KPMG buying Bitcoin. It's not institutions buying Bitcoin. It actually is something that hasn't fully materialized in the price yet of cryptocurrency. And I think a lot of people that have been in crypto, specifically Bitcoin for a while, see it, but a lot of new people aren't paying attention to it. So we're going to talk about that. Also, we have news that Russia might be willing to negotiate with Ukraine. We're going to talk about that. Also, look at some other news from around the crypto market. If you guys don't mind hitting the like button and subscribe button, I really do appreciate that. It helps out the channel a lot. Also, we got some news that Sam Bankman-Fried is actually giving away $25 to each Ukrainian on FTX. So he's just giving back to people. If you guys want, there is a link down there to FTX US. You can try out the platform. It's really easy to use. It's got some of the lowest fees out there. You can also get a chance at free crypto every time you trade $10 or more. And they also allow you to buy into NFTs if you're interested in that, and they have zero gas fees, so you can literally save hundreds of dollars within a few transactions, so you don't have to pay Ethereum fees. So definitely check out that link underneath the video. I really like it. It's really easy to use, like I said. So the crypto market is up since yesterday. I mean, I think we've come down just a tiny bit over the last few minutes, down to about 39,000, but we had some big buys happening this morning, and really, we were at 34,300 yesterday. There's a lot of capitulation, a lot of mass fear in the market, in stocks and in crypto, and we bounced significantly. I mean, this is a huge move from 34 up to 39 within a day. A lot of cryptos are up 10, 20% too over the last 24 hours, a lot of the altcoins. So overall, we are looking a lot better than yesterday. The stock market's also up. Since yesterday, we were actually down about -3% on the NASDAQ yesterday. It went up to positive 3%. A lot of what's happening right now is related to Russia. So let me give you a brief rundown of what happened yesterday, and then we'll talk about what's happening here today. It's going to be really quick. But have you noticed that the narrative has shifted completely from COVID-19 over to Russia? It's kind of interesting how no one is even talking about that anymore as a concern or a fear. Kind of went C-19 to the Fed to now Russia. It's interesting how all that happens and how it's just seamless that the fear moves from one thing to the next. But first of all, Ukraine president urges resistance to invasion. We are defending our country alone. A lot of people, or this president himself is saying that no one is helping us really. And this is because we did have some sanctions. The UK is going to freeze major assets of Russian banks and certain individuals. Biden said that they're going to have economic sanctions too, devastating sanctions, but they're not kicking them off the SWIFT system. They're also not going to send troops or anything like that. They don't want another war. So the president is saying that's not quite enough. And there's heavy fighting on the route to Kiev, which is Kyiv. This is their capital over there. And a lot of people are saying that they think that it's going to be taken in the next few days. I've also heard people say that it's much too big a city and that there would be too much bloodshed. Right now, Russia is pretty much not trying to take out civilians. They're trying to just take out military. So there's a lot of uncertainty over the coming days. But the Kremlin says that Russia is thinking about talking with Ukraine. They agree to talk with Ukraine, but they also say that they have waited too long and they missed the opportunity to talk with them about just not joining NATO. They've been wanting to join the NATO alliance, but after the invasion broke out, the president said the country would consider a non-aligned status, but they said that they had missed their opportunity to do that. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens out of this, if they actually meet and if they just negotiate some terms. And this is after China said that they wanted dialogue and negotiation rather than military means. They haven't been real aggressive or real outspoken about agreeing with Russia, but they're obviously more on Russia's side than they are Ukraine. And they talk about how they understand some of Russia's frustrations and fears of Ukraine right now. So you can tell that they just don't want to come out and outright say that they're on Russia's side, but they want this to be resolved kind of quietly. Now, while all this is happening, so we're onto the more crypto-related stuff, USDT premiums soar on Ukraine's Kuna exchange. So this happened just yesterday. They soared to a high of $1.23 USDT, which is supposed to be $1. The total trading volume of all cryptos on the exchange was just a small 4.4 million, but still, this is a high premium, and this is because the National Bank of Ukraine announced they had fixed the foreign exchange rate of the UAH, limited cash withdrawals at banks, and suspended the issuance of electronic money. So they stopped people from taking out more than $3,000 of their own money. So they didn't want a bank run. And this is happening at a time where people are really trying to leave. They're trying to get out of the city, and yet they can't have access to their own money. And 1 hour ago, someone donated about 80 Bitcoin, more than $3 million. And actually, this is about 5 hours ago now. But they donated 80 Bitcoin to a charity organization supporting the Ukrainian military. But what's interesting about this is you can send money in via Bitcoin, but you can't take money out at the banks. So they were able to do this for 14 cents. They were able to send actually about $4.3 million for these two recipients. So this is a significant amount of money traded instantly for about 14 cents. And this is not controlled by the government. This is not controlled by the banks. That, I think, is one of the biggest pros, one of the biggest bullish things to happen to Bitcoin over the last few years. Between this and then Trudeau enacting the Emergency Act powers recently where he could just go freeze accounts, and they can't do that with Bitcoin. So I think that, yes, Tesla buying in was a big event. Also, KPMG buying recently was a big event. But I think this is probably one of the most bullish things to happen, and it's really negative just in general, right? That these people's accounts are getting frozen, but it makes a huge case for crypto. And this is two instances within a week or two where different countries, in totally different situations, mind you, froze accounts or wouldn't let people take money out of their accounts. So I know this is going to happen in the future. A lot of other people know this is going to happen in the future. So a lot of people, I think, will notice, and of course there's some fear just because there's a lot of uncertainty right now in crypto and in the world, but I think a lot of people will realize they need to allocate towards something like this just for the safety of having that access to money. Like a lot of people hold guns, right? They have guns in their house. A lot of them try never to use them, but you have it there just in case. And I feel like Bitcoin might be that kind of weapon just in case something were to happen in your home country or you get on the wrong side of the government, you have access to funds. It's amazing what Bitcoin can do, and a lot of people just don't realize that yet. So I think that will be one of the most bullish things to happen to crypto in the last few years. Now, I just want to take a few seconds to tell you, Unstoppable Domains is having their flash sale, so they extended it for a few extra hours. They're doing a 2-for-1 sale on their website. You can check out the link underneath the video. If you don't know what they do, they create readable wallet addresses, and you can even sell these on the secondary market, or you can just use them. You can plug in all your wallets, and then you can just send it. You can just have people send you crypto to a really easy to use name like sam.crypto, and it's way easier than sending a bunch of wallet addresses and always going and copying and pasting. So definitely check that out underneath the video. And we did get news on inflation here today. We had the core PCE measure go up to 5.2% for the biggest annual gain since 1983. Orders for durable goods reflected the buoyant spending, rising 1.6% or double the expectation. So this grew pretty significantly. It was higher than the estimate from Dow Jones, which was going to be 5.1. And because of this, if we look at the expectations for next month and the Fed rate hikes, now we're at an 80% likelihood of just a quarter point raise compared to 20% on the half point. Yesterday, this was 95% and 5%. So 15% more people are saying today that we think that there will be a half point raise, either because of what's happening in Ukraine, maybe being sorted out a little bit, fears dying down, but then more likely because inflation is raging on. So that might be a little bit of the reason why the market's a little bit volatile here, at least in the stock market, just because people are trying to get a handle for this change in inflation expectation and because of these numbers that came in here today. We also got Coinbase's revenue numbers for Q4 in their financials. So this is actually pretty interesting to take a look at because you can see a lot of metrics about crypto investors. So monthly transacting users went up pretty significantly from Q3 to Q4. And remember, we had a very bullish time in crypto up until about halfway through November. So we were going up and up and up, and then we started to fall down right around the beginning to mid-November. A lot of people interested in buying crypto when we were moving up. Then trading volume increased significantly. Assets on platform actually went up. Even though the crypto market fell down, we actually had assets on the platform go up. Net revenue doubled since Q3, and we also had a 5x since the year before, the same quarter there. So they had a beat on revenue, a beat on earnings. And then also we did get some numbers on the trading volume. So obviously institutional investors are still kind of running the volume. They're still running the market. They're trading over twice as much as retail. And a lot of the trading volume here on Coinbase is coming from other assets. So a lot of people just buying crypto and Ethereum and then just holding it, but a lot of people buying and selling more of these other alternative cryptos, a lot of the altcoins. And what's interesting too is that retail still has more assets on Coinbase, but yet institutions are accounting for over 2x the amount of trading volume. So retail is still holding the majority of the crypto, but institutions are trading in and out a lot more often. And then the majority of the crypto is Bitcoin. You can see here it's been going down steadily though. As people become more comfortable, they will buy Ethereum and then other assets, and you can kind of see how that's broken down, about the same amount of fiat on the platform as usual. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for hitting the like and subscribe, checking out the links underneath the video to FTX and Unstoppable Domains. And let me know what you think about all this.